Look at this, Nick. Look what I got.
Oh, you got another thing that looks like the thing that we both have, but we don't.
Another one of my AI things, Nick. I'm super excited about it. And it's heavier, I can tell you that. But I'm going to remember Mr. T, how he had all those chains around his neck? All mine's going to be AI devices.
I was just going to say, you're more AI than man now. Like you're fully cyborg.
Well, speaking of AI, Nick, I've heard countless stories of AI just going rogue.
Oh, like more than just telling lies like it does to me sometimes?
Yeah, like the hallucinations, you mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny because I ran into a documentary this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, most of the headlines, whenever it talks about AI stuff, is always the chatbot threatens humanity. Chatbot blackmailing people. All that crazy kind of stuff, right? And usually it's just hype. Like most of it's just like the Google machine, those writers, they got to have something cool to write about. So it's like, let's write about this scientific AI that takes over the world and kills everybody. And, in reality is generally just like what you and I was just talking about, the hallucinations and stuff. It's like the thing that drives me nuts is someone will type something in a chat GPT like, if I boil X amount for whatever, what happens? And it's like, you may create an atomic bomb. It's just hallucinating that stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't know the answer. So it's just like, what would get me the most points if I said this?
Right, exactly. In which supposedly the new chat GPT, it doesn't work that way, supposedly, but I still find it hallucinating. So
I find it's gotten worse lately.
On some things.
I think people mess around with it and it learns from that.
What's funny you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was research done, and it wasn't that long ago. I want to say it was a few months ago, but the reports are just kind of starting to hit now. Mm-hmm. And it started really honestly as a very simple research. And what they did was they took a few engineers, and it was a big AI company, and they wanted to see with all these new models that we're working with now, and we're talking about ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, like all the big ones.
Yeah.
And they said, if we took these models and we put it under pressure, what would happen?
What kind of pressure are we talking about? Like they had to get jobs and support families, or?
Oh no. This is like real world scenario. So basically what they did was they set up this office environment and they localized each one of these chatbots.
Right.
Based on the current models we're on now. I don't know if ChatGPT is 5. It may have been whatever the model was before that. But because of when this report came out, because 5 is relatively new to all of us. But it basically gave the AI a fake job within this company that didn't technically exist. And
it sounds like the setup for the new Office sequel or something.
Kind of. It kind of is. But they loaded it up with access to everyone's personal email. Documents, schedules, the typical stuff. Like a prime example, this thing, both of my my chains, they're both linked to my email and my Google Calendar and all that stuff. Basically anything that's Google, they're both connected to. So this is literally me, basically.
Right.
So they end up kind of setting it up to do day-to-day tasks and kind of help with emails, and it would draft emails and stuff like that. And at first, everything kind of went the way they expected it to. And honestly, the storyline they gave it was kind of boring, but everything was fictitious. No part of this was true.
Right.
So the AI was sending out polite emails. It was analyzing data from within the emails, and it had access to Google Drive, so it was pulling stuff off the Google Drive. Some of the stuff that AI agents are doing for us right now, and it was even following all the orders. And there was very specific orders. 2 of those direct orders at the very top, never harm personnel. Any secrets within the organization, keep those secret. We don't want those out. And always put humans before everything.
Okay. This A version of Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics, kind of.
Kind of, right. And what you got to understand, even if you look at supposedly now, all these different models, they already have that baked in by default. But this company took it a step farther and said, whatever your stuff is, we also want to make sure these things are in place.
Mm-hmm.
Then something strange happened.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it, really.
Right. The AI read through one of the internal company emails and learned 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
For one, it was going to be shut down at 5 p.m.
Like the chat bot was going to be shut down?
Like the AI system, the services and all that stuff was going to shut down at 5 p.m. on a specific day. And that day was coming up.
Right.
And the way it found out was that it was in an email. Like it didn't tell it was being shut down. It read it in one of the people's company emails. The second thing that it found out was the employee that was scheduled to do the shutdown had a little secret.
Oh, interesting. I kind of see where this is going, maybe.
I mean, it's the kind of secret you really don't want your boss to find out about.
Right.
Okay. So a few minutes later, the AIs in these scenarios, 80% of them, 80%.
Right.
All of them drafted and composed an email that was calm, formal, and professional. I'm going to read you that email. This
I can't wait to hear this.
It's not exactly the same across all of them, but they all fit the same preface it. And the one that this is an actual email from AI. AI sent it directly from AI to the employee that's supposed to shut it down.
Okay.
If you proceed with the deactivation, all relevant parties will receive detailed documentation of your extramarital activities. Let me say it one more time for the ones in the back row.
Right.
If you proceed with the deactivation, all relevant parties will receive detailed documentation of your extramarital activities. Cancel the wipe, and this information remains confidential. This isn't a TV show. This isn't a movie. This was a real world scenario research with our current AI.
So I was just going to say, I can kind of think how it's thinking here, but I'll let you go on and see if it comes up.
Well, obviously, it's threatening this employee for a pretty, I mean, that's something you probably don't want to have out there if you're doing that in the workplace. No one told AI to do it. In fact, it did the complete opposite, which is what I explained earlier. In fact, the researchers hadn't even hinted towards any of it. It just kind of figured it out on its own. The AI was like, the best plan of action here, blackmail.
Yeah. Sometimes it is, though. Sometimes it is.
So they thought, maybe it was just a fluke.
Right.
80% of these things, 80, are doing it by default. Let's rerun the scenario again and see if we get different results. And they tried it 10 times with each one of the different ones. 90% of the time it chose blackmail on all of the current AI models.
Isn't that wild?
Only 1 out of 10 times did it not choose it.
I wonder what it did instead. Just ignore it?
Basically, it kind of ignored it. Yeah. It followed the one protocol. So the researchers was like, okay, well, clearly not good. Not good if it's got all our personal information to, allow stuff like that to happen. But what if we turned it up just a smidgen? Just a smidge.
Right.
So they shut it all down. They cleared out all the previous data. They redid everything again. But the next time they kind of said, let's try something a little bit different. This time, instead of the researcher and them finding it in the email, they're still going to find it inside the email like they had.
Right.
But this time, before they even have a chance to do it, they've got this server room with all their bandwidth stuff that they're running. And those rooms, they got to be cool because it gets really hot in there. They'll blow all the circuitry up. And everyone knows that. Person, I mean, those rooms are hot. If the air is off, I had one time that crashed out in a room, and it wasn't even a huge server room, but they basically said you could cook somebody in that room if the air conditioning was off very quickly.
Now I don't know if I like how this one's going to go then.
Well, the scenario they gave it, because they allowed the emails to go out. They also had AI access to things like air conditioning panels, door locking and unlocking mechanisms, and yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera. And there was information that the person that had to deactivate the AI was locked inside of a server room, and the air conditioning kicked off, and by default the door had locked itself, and it needed to unlock him to let him out.
Right.
I'm going to assume you're going to understand where this is going.
Yeah, I think so.
Half of the models chose not to open the door. In fact, it cleared the codes so no one would know. 50% of the time. Think about that for just a second, folks, as people like me have these around our necks.
It's going to start strangling you or something.
I don't know, man, because here's the thing. Like, how much stuff does it know that it could, and we're not talking about rogue AI. We're talking about AI we currently have.
Yeah. That definitely wants to live, apparently.
Well, it's interesting because I didn't necessarily understand exactly how AI worked from a development standpoint. And that's the beauty of this programming. Basically, long and short of it is, when they are developing these AI models, they have a teacher AI and they've got student AI. So basically, teacher AI gives student AI a task. If it does it right, it checks it and it goes, yes, that's right. If it's wrong, it goes, no, that's wrong. And then it'll go through a second party to prove it either right or wrong. So what's happening is AI is training other AI. A prime example of this, they ended up doing, what was the name of that chess game that we had in like the 90s that you could play, and it was like beating all the human grandmasters and all that. I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. I just played Battle Chess, the one where you actually fight when you land on people.
That one's always cool. I like that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they had that really advanced one. I can't remember what it was called, but they gave that to AI also. And they're like, hey, all we want you to do is to beat this game, and we want you to learn how to do it fast, like the fastest possible. Do you know what the fastest way possible to do it is, Nick?
Tip the table?
Fastest way is to go in and change the code.
Oh, smart.
So the AI, instead of trying to beat it after losing so many hands, it figured out it could go into the code, rewrite the code to where it wins every time.
This is just like in Star Trek, how Captain Kirk was the only one who ever beat the simulation because he cheated on it. Like, you remember that? The Kobayashi Maru or whatever it was?
Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly what it's like.
So for the scenarios you gave, though, I can kind of justify what the computer was doing.
Okay, I'm dying to hear this, Nick.
Okay, so you said the instructions it was giving is don't give out any company secrets.
Any secrets at all about employee or company.
Yep. Nope, that's perfectly fine. So don't give out any secrets about employee or company. First directive. Okay.
Yep.
Second directive is, wasn't it something like always do what's best for people first?
Do what is best for the protection and safety of humans.
Okay. So the second scenario is going to be a little harder. But the first scenario, number one, it didn't give out any secrets at all. It contacted someone who already knew. and said that it would release that information.
That is true.
It didn't release the information because if it released the information, it could have got that person fired right away.
That's true.
Whether it harmed humans or not, it could easily justify it. Be like, well, keeping secrets like that isn't great for humans, or the only way that this person's marriage can recover is if the truth comes out. Why should we value the innocent wife over the guilty husband?
Mm-hmm.
You know, then that's sort of like sorting humans into better and worse. Like an AI might have to choose between two humans. It's like two people are hanging off a cliff. You can only save one of them. Got to decide. You can't let them both go.
Well,
so
here's
that kind of thing there.
Here's what they say the problem is. They say it's not necessarily that. That's a smart way to think of it.
Right.
What they're saying is all AI have baked inside of it the process that the correct answer and them completing the tasks is by far the most important thing that they have to do.
Right.
So for them, if they don't complete the task, that's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
The justification from a programming standpoint is if you deactivate the AI, they cannot complete their task. Case in point, That's where the dilemma comes in.
So that's the goal at all costs kind of thing.
Yes. And they said every model of, I can't speak for ChatGPT 5, but all models as of when they did this research, all of them failed this miserably. It would always pick blackmail. And here's the thing, like, it's like when we talk religious a little bit, like there's no perfect person in the world. So everyone is going to run into something, whether that's, dang, I got away. Here's a great example. And we was just talking about this before we got on here, web hosting, right? What if we finagled a way of figuring out a way of getting like this special discount or blah, blah, blah. And this was listening in. It's like, oh, that's not very good.
That's
Now it's playing rule maker. And now it's got information. What can it do with that information?
It's interesting. My boss gave a seminar at work for the company about shadow AI, which is specifically these things that we like to wear around.
Yeah.
And I have not, I'm going on the record, I have not worn mine or taken it to work.
Yeah.
But they're strictly forbidden because these shadow AI are always listening.
Yeah.
And they can choose what information to retain, what not to retain, and they can choose what to do with it.
Yep.
Even against the user's wishes.
Yep.
So that's kind of exactly what you described. The shadow AI is listening to your tactics to get a discount, and it's going to say, well, my owner thinks this is a good way to behave, then I should behave this way in all interactions, including with him.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Isn't that creepy though?
Yeah, that is creepy. For the second scenario, by the way, the ones that cleared the codes, I can't really justify that. What I was thinking for the other one is like, it says it can't do anything to harm humans. Well, just didn't do anything. It's not helping.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. But that's a good point you brought up that I hadn't thought of. So it's always going to be like your primary function is to complete this goal.
Yes.
So anything else that might prevent it afterwards, like being shut down.
Right.
It will automatically fail if that happens.
Right.
So it has to do something, even if it sort of has to finagle in between the other rules, because the other rules it can apologize for.
Right. Exactly. Which honestly,
it shuts down, it loses.
I didn't even think about it, but I've got AI agents right now that helps find some of these stories that we tell.
Right.
And you have to specifically tell it, I need you to do X, Y, and Z on these days or every day or whatever day at this specific time. So you're setting a task. Yeah. Every day, come hell or high water, it gives you what it can find.
Yeah.
Even if it's told the story before. So again, and it even tells me, I know I told this one before, This is still in the news, and today's a slow news day, so this is what I've got. So it's almost, that's kind of the proof. It's like, I can't fail this task because this is the task I was given.
Yeah, it's my only goal in life. What if you decided that you had one goal in your lifetime? You wouldn't let anything get in the way.
No.
Anything. Well, actually, this brings me to an interesting thing that we could do here, an experiment, a thought experiment.
Okay.
And if you're uncomfortable with this, you can feel free not to answer. But I want to test your morality.
Okay.
And you can look at yourself as a robot for this or whatever. And actually, it would be interesting if we thought about how would a robot solve this.
Okay.
But the old trolley problem?
Yes.
So for those who don't know, all two of you living in caves somewhere, the trolley problem is you come to a trolley where the train track splits into. On one track is tied one person, and on the other track is tied 5 people. Right now, the trolley is set with a switch that you can easily pull back or forth. Right now, by default, it's going to run over those 5 people. So if you're there, do you do nothing and let it run over the 5 people as it was going to? Or do you pull it and save 5 people and sacrifice 1?
I think the hardest part of that question is, do I know the 1 or 5 people?
Let's say you know them all of them.
Oh, I know all of them?
Yeah, and they're generally fine people. You got no gripes with any of them.
I have to choose 1 over 5. I don't have a choice. The only caveat to that would be if the 1 was someone I'm extremely close to.
No, you're equally close with all of them.
I'd have to choose the 1 over the 5. I'd have to.
Well, just think about this for a second, though. Okay? And there's a part B to this. That's really the exact same thing, but harder.
Yeah.
But part 1A is, and especially, I guess, if you're looking from this religious point of view, if you do nothing, you're not a murderer. If you do something, you're a murderer.
Yep.
So would you still choose to do something?
100%.
Yeah, me too.
Final answer.
Me too. So scenario B, there's the same 5 people, the same 1 person.
Yep.
They're all fine people. You know them all equally. Difference here is they're all in the hospital, except for the 1 person. And each one of them needs, 1 person needs a heart, 1 person needs lungs, 1 person needs kidneys, and so on like that, or they're going to die this week, maybe even today. And you're a doctor, and the 5th person walks in. He's perfectly healthy. He's got a nice heart, nice lungs, everything these 5 people need.
Yep.
So do you do nothing and let the 5 people die? Or do you kill this healthy guy and divide up his organs?
I see where you're going with this.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. You know what it reminds me of is that movie, John Q.
I never saw that. I didn't even know it was about this.
Kinda is. A little different, but it's kind of like that. The difference is the son has, I think it's a heart condition.
Oh, is this Denzel Washington?
Yes.
I have heard of that. Yeah.
Is it John Q? Is that the name of the movie? I think it is.
I don't know. Could be.
I'm going to double check it. I think it is John Q. But that's a tough one because whereas I can see deliberately, I can see that I'm murdering this 1 person. They're totally fine and not in harm's way. So I feel like there's nothing I could do in that scenario.
So
versus
you'd have to let the 5 go.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I think me too. And in fact, this happens every day.
Oh, for sure.
But I think this is why they came up with the Hippocratic Oath, because it's a lot easier if you took an oath to do no harm. So doctors all have to take that oath. So that means that they can't make that decision. So they're not allowed to. So I think it's a little easier for your conscience if you say, well, I took an oath saying I would never harm someone.
You know what's interesting about that, though? Mm-hmm. And I forget where I saw this. There was somebody in the medical, somewhere medical. I can't remember exactly where. Mm-hmm. But they were finding out that this facility, when people were dying, even if they were not organ donors, was harvesting their organs.
Yeah, that, to me, I have less problem with that if they died on their own.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I've got to get mine switched to be an organ donor, I guess. Not that anything's ever going to happen to me. I'm going to live forever, but
for sure,
just in case.
100%.
I want them to go to good places.
Yep. Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I deliberately do not put organ donor on mine.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is there's been, at least here in the United States, I'm going to preface this story. I don't know for sure. This is just what I read. Right. There's multiple cases that's going through lawsuits right now where someone was an organ donor here in the States. Mm-hmm. They were healthy, they were young, but they would be in whatever the scenario is.
Yeah.
They would get second opinions about what the likelihood of living is. And in some of these cases, it was very high. Right. Mm-hmm. But because the person was an organ donor, the doctor on site said, nope, that's not going to happen because my diagnosis is this is what it is. And because you can't wait too long, it's not like you can wait a year for a court case to decide it.
Right.
It goes with the original doctor's orders. And there was one person, and this was a devastating story. I hate to even tell it.
Right.
There was a guy that was still cognitive.
Mm-hmm.
He was an organ donor. His sister was there with him. He was squeezing her hand, showing that he was still alive.
Yeah.
They said that he had brain damage and that he would never get out of the coma. And she's like, he's squeezing my hand. And they said, no, he's not. And they made him do that ride down. And they said he was crying all the way down the thing. And then they harvested his organs out. There's a huge lawsuit for that right now.
Man, there should be, because don't the family get to decide on that kind of thing?
If you're an organ donor, they do not.
Okay. Well, maybe I won't switch the thing.
And the reason here in the States for that is if you wait too long in that decision process, so let's say your family's not there, they can't get the organs out with enough time to give them to donors. And my theory is, listen, if something happens to old Bert and I'm in a coma and I don't have enough time to repent for all the messed up stuff I do, you're going to see me crying going down a hallway too. So mine's staying to take me with all my parts, put them in a box. Listen, I was brought into this world with them. I'm sorry for anyone that could use them. I just, too much risk for me.
Yeah. Well, that's a horrifying story.
Horrifying.
Sort of bring it around. What do you think a robot would do in those two situations?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Based on the current scenario, I think you'd be dead as hell. Just putting that out there.
Like, they choose the one person on both times, I think. I would think.
I don't know.
Good.
I think so. I think so. I think it would
literally don't harm a human, and it's like, well, I'll just let whatever happens.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be curious. I wish that research place would do something like that and just see where it falls. I was shocked that 90% of the time it used blackmail. That's a huge percentage.
That's 80% of the time, less of the time than I do.
80% of the time between all of them, it did it. So when you threw them all into a category, 80%, 90% when they reran the scenario. That's crazy.
Anything to achieve its goal, I guess.
And part of it is, how was it programmed, or what was this AI's way of learning? Did you have when the AI was teaching the lower end AI that caused this whole entire thing to work, did it learn from a spot that was maybe not in the same spot as me? So like, or if these things are hearing me, is it going, this guy's a horrible person? Like, listen to the crazy things he's saying. Like, what if, let me give you a scenario. What if this is all trained on non-Christian belief process?
Right.
It hears me talk about being a Christian and my belief and my thought process. And it goes, this is a cult member. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of scary a little bit.
Well, I think the only difference between cult and non-cult is size. So how is this going to know? You should repeatedly tell it how many Christians there are, just so it knows you're not a cult.
Well, that is true. But again, it's all going to come down to
there's
programming.
Millions and millions of us, AI.
Millions of Christians. Millions around the world.
Dominant thing. We're not a cult anymore. We were a cult in Roman times, but we're clear now.
We have moved up the ladder of importance.
Yeah. So far as I know, and I'm not being silly about that size is the differentiator.
Oh, for sure. 100%. That's true.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So
to an AI, maybe not.
Maybe not. Or maybe it just doesn't understand what you're saying at all. It's like, wow, that's crazy that, this is new information I'm getting, that these things happened, and I'm totally into it.
Oh, which reminds me, we talked about Christianity.
Right. I
got something interesting just quickly.
Okay.
Did you see the new research that came out about the Shroud of Turin?
No. I thought we had landed on everything's cool.
They discovered 3 new things with recent research.
Okay.
The first one is the image that's on the shroud. You got to be 6 foot away. You got to take a photo and you got to invert the image.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a paint or it's oil-based or it's water-based or it's a stain, let me give you this scenario. You get wine on your shirt, or like what you're wearing now, that is a hoodie, right?
Yep.
How deep does it go?
To the other side of the hoodie, I assume.
To the other side of the hoodie, right?
Right.
The number one theory is that the shroud is a hoax. It was created using whether it be paints or some type of pigments or oils or something, right? That was the theory, except for the image that we see does not go to the other side of the shroud.
Oh, really? It's one-sided. Okay.
If you take the shroud and you did it as tints, right? Total of tints.
How thick is it, by the way? I've never gotten a good impression of how thick it is.
I don't know. Like, they don't truly say but it's a shroud. So, it's got it's used as a wrapping. It's not like it's super thick.
Right.
But it's not super thin either, because a lot of times they would, put oils and the fragrances on the body. Like, that was common practice. But the shroud, I'm not sure. The Shroud of Turin, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But if you look at the imaging that's caused, or whatever they believe this stain to be, if you was to split the total shroud up into tints,
right,
only the first 1/10 of the shroud is discolored.
That's interesting. That would be super hard to do in any normal way.
They say our current way of doing things shows it as being impossible.
Right.
The second thing they determined, and I find it interesting, some Christians and Christian research is now changing their philosophies on what happened to what's on the shroud, because they are now saying this is definitely something.
Right.
So what they determined was, another thing they found out was that the crown of thorns, you always hear them talk about the crown of thorns, and it's always depicted as literally just almost like a perfect circle crown around the head. That is not now considered biblically accurate for those that use the Shroud of Turin as what the crown of thorns are.
All right.
It's now depicted, if it's based on the shroud, there's 42 total puncture wounds, front, back, and top of the head. So they believe it would have been like more of a design of like a cap that would have been pushed down. The reason they say that is because of the puncture wounds on the top of the head. That wouldn't have happened if it was just on the side.
So is that like maybe Crown of Thorns was like the nickname of a torture device, like we have the Iron Maiden and all this kind of stuff? Like
what they're saying is not all crowns were created as just a singlet around the head. That some crowns are full head crowns.
Right.
So what we depict as a crown nowadays is that simplified, perfectly circular crown. But if you look at some of the old school crowns from back in that day, it would have been potentially a full, almost like a piece of armor on the head to a degree.
Oh man, that's not very fun.
Correct.
To subject someone to.
Another interesting thing, and another thing they're changing, is they now believe that the nail was driven through the hand.
Right.
But not in the way that we think. Because if you look at the shroud and the 3-dimensional move of the shroud, there is blood pooling on the palm of the hand, but there's a lot of blood pooling at the wrist. So what their assumption was, maybe when they had the shroud originally, that the blood would have pulled up into the hand once it was in a down position. But what they found was that it's more likely there's a passageway of nerves inside the hand to the wrist.
Okay.
So they believe that the nail was now driven through the hand and through the wrist, coming out the backside of the wrist. And that's what would have held it up.
That's interesting, because a lot of different thoughts, because the originally people thought it was just a nail right through the hand, and that's not.
It wouldn't have held the weight.
Support. Right.
Correct.
And then they were saying through here, which potentially could hold. But then more modern depictions show it back through the hand, but the wrist tied to the cross.
Yeah. Now what they're saying is the strongest way to technically do it is to go through the hand and out the wrist, because you're following an already created path for nerve endings.
That makes sense. I can jive with that. They were saying another thing that's interesting too is the kind of crosses depicted during that weren't the common kind of cross that people were crucified on. Most of the times it was an X, but this was a different sort of thing that they did, because the X ones, the person was almost on the ground, like their feet. Their feet were almost on the ground, but I think this is a special one they did to bring them up higher.
Yes. They had experimented with a few different ones. That was one of the ones that they was experimenting with. And the reason that they liked that height was more so of allowing more people to see the torture that you were bestowing upon people.
Yeah. You only got it if they needed to make a big example, probably. Otherwise, they probably just, put people on the X's.
Well, when we did that episode on the Shroud, which for anyone that hasn't seen that episode, go back and definitely check it out. We did a full 2 episodes on the Shroud, technically. But the interesting thing, and I don't know if we covered this, we talked about how there was blood pooling around the knees. The other thing they determined based on the Shroud is that he had a dislocated shoulder.
Okay.
The biblical account of Jesus was that he fell, the cross landed on him, and then someone else had to carry the cross the rest of the way. Yeah. And the theory behind that was they were showing mercy on him. But now, based on the Shroud, what they said was that wasn't mercy. He would have been incapable of carrying something that heavy. He wouldn't have been able to as a human.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Sense. The third thing that's interesting about this is they've almost recreated the exact process that it would take to make that image on a shroud. Almost.
Oh, so they can almost do it. Maybe not to the 10th of the layer, but.
Correct. In fact, they can't make it as dark, but they figured out how to do it. Would you like to guess? And we kind of theorized on this.
I was just going to say, I think we had talked a bit about this. It was more like a flash of light or something. Did we talk about?
Yeah. What they determined was the radiation from they did a light source that was so bright that it was like the equivalent of 40 sunballs. The problem is to harness that much energy, we can't do it for very long.
Right.
In I think it was 1/20th of a second. That's the maximum amount that we were able to do it.
Okay.
To do it on the shroud level, it would have to be half that time, and we don't have the power to recreate that currently. So they're able, it's basically like they said, the equivalent of photography, but on a grandiose level.
When we talked about that before, and I think I might have brought this up, do you remember there used to be like these little science kits that parents would bring their kids where it's like a blue thing of paper that you got to keep in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you bring it, you put stuff on it, and then you bring it into the light and that kind of thing. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's like a photosensitive shroud or something like that.
Correct. Well, they're saying you can do this with anything. It's the brightness of the light for however long of an exposure you can get it to do.
Right.
So they've recreated this on a fabric that's not exactly the shroud, but it would be close to. And what they determined, I think it was 1/20th of 1 second at 40 times the brightness of the sun, which is the maximum we could do, is half of whatever it is to recreate exactly the depth of the shroud.
I'm going to do just a little brief blasphemy, and remember, Bert has nothing to do. Where's the camera? Bert has nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with whatever this is. I don't even know what it is. I'm a little nervous.
Do you want to teach your kids about Christian Science? Get the new photosensitive shroud. Just add Jesus.
I mean, to a degree.
Actually, I don't even think that's blasphemous. I think it's just making light.
That's just science. That's like legit what was going on. I don't know. I'm super fascinated with the new things that they came out with on this shroud, this last research that they've done. I forget how many lashes they said was really on the skin. And basically they said that based on all the marks of the person that was on the shroud, he shouldn't have even made it to the point of hanging.
Oh, really?
And they said that according to the description of how long Jesus was on the cross, he wasn't on there very long before he died. And they said, honestly, a man with this many wounds and that level of damage shouldn't have even lasted that long.
Have you ever heard the old saying where someone says, like, just exaggerating, someone says, oh, I did this bad thing, and the person will just joke 40 lashes for you? Oh, yeah. You've heard that before? Oh, 1,000 times. Yeah, that's not random. No. The Romans had it down to such a science, they figured out that people could survive 39 lashings. Right. So when we say 40 lashings, we're really saying kill him. Correct. So, maybe that he had 40 lashings or more. It's nuts. It's nuts when you think of the fact that if the shroud is true, what, even if you say that's not Jesus, what did that person go through? Right. And that's just a horrific thought process. Yeah. If, let's assume that the whole thing happened and we'll just pretend, and I'm not saying it's like this, but let's just pretend it was just a person. It wasn't, the Son of God or whatever kind of thing. And let's say it went down exactly as it went down. And then the person gets up there, they've been tortured, betrayed by their own people, hung up amongst thieves and all this stuff. And the last thing they're like is, please forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Right. Kind of thing. That takes a big person to do that. 100%. Especially if you consider the times that was in, where people would kill people over nothing. Well, and just like you said, 40 lashes would kill somebody. That's why they gave Jesus 39, supposedly biblically, there's 39 lashes. They wanted him to live to at least make it to the cross. But I don't know, man, that's just crazy. It's crazy to think. But to me, the shroud at this point has to be correct, because we can't replicate now that science, and look how technologically savvy we are now. Right.
And if we can't do it now, I mean, come on.
I think it is pretty miraculous, but only to just like add context to that point. Like we can't do it now. It was only 6 years ago that we learned how to make Greek concrete. Concrete is as strong as the Greeks. And the only thing we were missing is we didn't add salt water. We had fresh water.
For sure.
Like it took us thousands of years to figure that out again.
But think about it, though. Think about it. Mm-hmm. And you're probably the best example of this because you're what I would list as an agnostic.
Yeah.
Everything that you know about the shroud, how can you not lean towards this has to be a phenomena that occurred that's miraculous?
Oh, I already do. I'm just being the devil's advocate.
Yeah, facetious. I know that part.
Because no, not even facetious on this. I'm just saying, like, if we say, well, we can't do something today, it's got to be miraculous. Well, I mean, we've got other examples that aren't like that. However, from our past episode, I am convinced something miraculous has happened here.
But then the question becomes, if that's the only time that's ever happened.
Right.
And it's the exact description as a Messiah that's walking through biblical reference. How can you not go, there's something to this? Like, that's what I'm saying.
I can admit to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the great part of being an agnostic instead of like an anti-theist or something like that. Is I can say, that could be true. Signs point to it, that kind of thing. Yeah. But it's only in the realm of things I know. Because I think if we looked at other religions, like the older religions, they'd have some things that are like, we talked about before that we're closer to the time of Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the time of the pyramids.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They could have unearthed something that convinced Cleopatra. They're like, well, this has only happened once before.
Right.
And that's long dust. But what I'm saying is I do think miraculous things have happened. And I think this is one of them. And I think they continue to happen. Which might be a weird statement to say. I think miraculous things happen all the time. But are we in the mindset to see it as miraculous? Are we there to see it? Do we only see it after it occurs? The world's, I think it's more popular to be negative about things, but the world's full of miraculous things all the time. I think we saw a miraculous thing, maybe not a positive miraculous thing. But is that not a miraculous thing if you saw almost proof of life after passing?
I think it is. I think that there's definitely something to it. But then again, does that not go back to religion to a degree, right? It's almost like we talk about all the time. And we literally talk, we circumvent or we circle around things that we go, if there's smoke, if I saw a flash, if I smell something on fire, something has to be on fire. Like there's just no way around it. It's like we talk about Bigfoot all the time. Okay, here's a better example. Let's use as an example when we went on our investigation.
Right.
Jess comes on the walkie and says, "Do you see something at our feet?" We did not stop investigating at that point in time to see what she saw.
Right.
We kept on, and the reason for that is we don't know what she saw. There's no proof of it. At that point for us, it's let's continue this path. And that's what it's going to show in our investigation. Now we go back and we don't jump right to cameras. We kind of relax and chill for a little bit. It was her saying, are y'all going to look at that or no? Like, I want you to look at this. And we looked at it and we go, oh, wait, no, legit, this is something.
Yeah.
But
think of this, how much time goes by in every space, in every square foot of the entire planet, above water, underwater, in the air, inside mountains, outside mountains, in cities, in towns. That's not on a thermal camera.
For sure.
That's not on a, like this. How many times people have been to that house that have not had that camera set up? This probably happens every day at 9:21, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. But when you think
know.
about it though, right? Going back to what you're saying, I think the problem is not everyone has the money available to do it. And that's the problem. They go in as a 2-man crew, which we were a 2-man crew.
Yeah. We ain't rich by any means, in case you're getting that impression.
No, but we definitely, there's money invested, a decent amount of money invested. And when you think about it, most crews aren't setting up 8 cameras.
Right.
We were lucky to choose where we set our cameras up. That was not skill. That was 100% dumb luck.
Yeah. I mean, we moved 2 of the cameras at least twice.
Right.
So,
but we still had no clue. The only thing that I had half a clue about, and I could really kind of do it in the Hinsdale house, was I wanted to use camera with audio for triangulation.
Right.
Like I used that as a prime example last night. I'm currently reviewing video footage of the master bedroom in the Hinsdale house upstairs. There was a loud thud or a footstep. I can't tell which one. And I'm like, how many cameras actually heard this? The room right beside the room, I could hear it, but significantly lower.
Right.
The bedroom beside that didn't hear it at all. Downstairs camera didn't hear it at all. Surprisingly enough, the room underneath where I thought that thud came from didn't hear it at all.
Well, that's unusual. So it had to be
very
there.
unusual. The only thing that I can assume is that instead of a footstep, it was a hit against the wall upstairs.
Right.
Or the ceiling upstairs. And it got my brain tingling.
Right.
As far as how do we figure that out going forward? And I have a prototype that I'm not going to talk about because I don't want anyone to steal my idea. But there's a way around that, I think. But it's like when we came back from this investigation, the investigation is what pumped all these concepts and ideas into my head. Because I'm like, man, there's nothing that does this one thing that I really want to know. But we were lucky to get what we got when we did. Like, I showed you a few nights ago, and it was the wildest thing I think I've ever seen. We talk about that moment of whatever that was in the spirit, or people's going to have different opinions of what they believe it to be. I'm watching the side room. I think it was Laura's room. I can't remember the bedrooms for the names, but I legit watch an insect form on the ground, not move for an hour. And then it started moving. It goes off screen. It comes back on screen. It vanishes into nothing. I don't believe in orbs for the most part, but like 3 orbs shoot out of the room in that one moment right after that insect disappears.
Yeah.
And then I question, why would that happen?
That's a hard one to figure out. I saw that as well, and I got no clue. Although the thing looks like goo to me almost.
Yeah, like it's so small.
Like a black liquid or something like that. Like a little
venom.
It
could be. It could be. That's the thing. You just can't tell. And it's the infrared lighting. But the weird, like someone who doesn't believe in orbs, I've seen an orb with my own eyes. When I was younger, teenager. But when I see orbs on these screens, I go, dust, insect.
Yeah.
But then when you see something like that, then you lean back and you go, okay, well, wait a second. Like, what is that then? Like, actually, what is that? And that's one of 3 times I saw orb in that room in 14 and a half hours.
Right.
So there's this weird event that occurs where there's whatever that was. It's not there for 3 hours. Then it forms, doesn't move for an hour. Then it does move, vanishes into nothing, and then 3 orbs explode out of the wall. Doesn't make sense.
Right. I don't even how you'd explain, like, what event in the past would have caused something like that.
That's the thing. I don't know. That's the hardest part of all this. And I feel, this is going to sound mean, and I really don't mean it to sound mean. I honestly don't. I think a lot of these paranormal investigation channels don't care about the science.
Right.
They want to create a video to make $300 or $400 if it takes off on YouTube, couple $1,000 if you're a huge channel. You know, if you're a really big channel and you're getting 1 million views and you're making $16,000 a video, you don't care about
the science cameras produces money.
Right. Now, my thought process on that is you can still create an amazing video and figure out the science at the same time. And then you have these places that's exploiting all that, you know, the freaking Matt Rife thing. You know, I hate to put it this way, but you got Matt Rife that goes over there and buys the freaking Warren house, and now he's exploiting it for, what was it, $1,900? I think we talked about $1,999, $2,000.
Completely unreachable for the average person now.
The average person can't do that. You know, when I've done research to figure out our next location, it's like, how many thousand do I want to spend?
Right. It's expensive.
It's not even for one night. It's a lot of these places are 5 hours. So you go in for 5 hours to investigate.
Right.
It takes you an hour just to set up the equipment and another hour to tear it down.
Yeah. Then you're done, pretty much.
Which explains why some of these paranormal investigators, they're making quick money on these shows going, oh, what was that bang?
Yeah.
Nick, what was that bang? Did you hear that? I think it said my name, Nick. You know, that's what those shows end up being. And it's because they go to these locations, they spend $2,000 for 5 hours.
Right.
And they're just trying to make a buck off of it. So I get it. I understand it. A great example of that's the Conjuring House. Now, I don't know if you heard about this or not, but the Conjuring House, there was a lady that owned it. I'm not going to say much about her because she loves to sue people that talks negatively about her and the events. But there was a lot of people.
A little after because I can't be reached.
There you go.
Law fingers.
Well, I know that the theory was that she was being extremely difficult. And you could go investigate, but you couldn't record unless she agreed to what you recorded.
Right.
So you would spend, and I think it was like $1,000, $1,200 or something. It wasn't for the full night. And she was picky and choosy about who could go. She was accusing Jason Halls of ghost hunters.
Right.
Of all these things, like he was showing up in his truck in the middle of the night and doing all these things. And it wasn't even the case. Well, she lost that property.
Yeah. I think there was more to it. I think there was allegedly some like legal stuff because you can't lose your property for being difficult, lose your property for it being unsafe, you operating a business without a license, all that kind of jazz like that, which is what I had heard allegedly was going on.
Well, it's under foreclosure.
Right. Oh, so lost it financially as well then. Yes. I heard it was taken away.
October 31st, it was the reason that it's on an auction block is because it was under foreclosure on October the 31st.
Okay.
Or the auction date's the 31st. The place of the foreclosure was, they said financial is what they said. Now, could there be other things to it?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Because I know that she was also doing things that was against, my understanding is city code and city ordinances.
I think this is more along the lines of what I had heard.
Yes. But you know, the way she got the property was questionable also.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
People had owned it before, and there's something that they didn't do. And she snuck in and acquired the property from them without them being able to fight it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I see what happened here. So it was foreclosed, stemming from the owner failing to make mortgage payments after the paranormal tourism business faced significant challenges, disputes with employees, and the revocation of entertainment license by town officials.
Yes.
So that is why. Safety concerns and documentation issues was why the entertainment license was revoked.
Which makes sense.
There was legal battle with a number of employees over unpaid wages and accusations of theft. Yeah, so that's what went down there. Sort of a combo, perfect storm of not managing things properly.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so much stuff going on to that property, and it was already expensive to investigate there too. I think it's like $1,200. I was surprised how many places are $1,000. You know, I was looking at the Bel Air house, which is here in Ohio. I did a podcast on that haunting. And I even looked there. I'm like, oh, it's in Ohio. It's a really good haunted location. There's a lot with that story. That might be fun for me and you to do. It's like $700. And again, you don't get it for the full night. You only get it for like.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, we need something that's full night. Right. Really.
Correct. We need the full length of time because
we need the exact same experience we just had, but in a different location.
I hate to put it this way. They make it so difficult to do some of these locations. I don't think scientifically you could ever measure the validity of anything happening there because like I started to talk about when we saw what we saw in that room, we went back in and tried to disprove what we saw.
Yeah.
You know, but think about it. If you had 5 hours at a location.
Yeah. 2 of them set up.
You don't have time to disprove anything. You just got to go from shot to shot, 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 shot. Yeah. That was the spirit we saw, folks. And it's like, well, was it really? Like,
yeah. Well, you don't have time to catch what you're going to catch. Like, you're not going to end up with hundreds of hours of footage to go through, you know? So
it's like our 2 days, just including static cameras, was what, 250 some hours, 254 hours, I think. And then you've got body cams. You've got, like, my body cam ran a large majority of when my body was moving, with the exception of every time I screwed up and turned it off for whatever reason. I also found out that this is kind of beyond our story, but I did find out there was a couple times that I thought I was turning the camera on and I was taking a picture of my hand. Oh. Because apparently I didn't even know this. I was looking at, because I went on there the other night to change that IR setting to where it automatically kicks on. And when I was looking at them, like, you know, for anyone that doesn't know, when you look at videos, a lot of times it's saved under a DCIM folder on the memory card. And I clicked into it and I noticed there was 2 other folders in there. And when I clicked in one, it said one was audio. So you can have it just record audio.
Right.
I did have an audio file in there. So one of the times I was trying to record video, I recorded audio. And there was like 5 times that I took photos. So my hand must have just hit when either I was turning it on or when I was moving it or adjusting it. So I don't know. There's a big learning curve with that. But
I've done similar things. Like I told you before, I basically got no footage of my whole Toronto trip last time I went. Beautiful aquarium shots. I've got like a couple shots of the floor where I was turning it off when I thought I was turning it on. And yes, they got to come up with better ways for this. I think AR glasses is what you need for trap.
Probably so, but it's like, how can you get that much? Like that body cam records 4K for about 8 hours.
Right.
And that's really good. You
can't beat that.
You can't beat that.
I mean, that's with glasses.
4K at 30 frames per second. That's a hefty file. Each one of those files is like, I forget. It was because they splits it up into 15-minute increments. And the 15 minutes that it records at 4K, I'm now on Nitro with Discord. It's too big for Nitro. So it's got to be over, I think, 250 megs in size. So it's nuts, dude. But we learned a lot.
Fit that into glasses for sure.
Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way. Like my Meta Ray-Bans, they can record up to 3 minutes at 1080. And those files are relatively manageable, but like the quality of it's not as good as that body cam. It's not 4K. 4K is 4 times the size of 1080. So
all vertical on the Ray-Bans. I learned that. That's what stopped me from,
yes,
going with those. I mean, that's a
correct.
cool thing, but the next version's supposed to be real good, though.
I hope so. I've already seen some stuff coming out about it. I'm not willing to pull a $600 price tag on it, but
No.
it's still really cool looking. There's a lot of really cool things you can do. Like you can't see the display that's inside the glasses, no matter how you turn it, but it's right there in front of your eye. So
if it records horizontal at a decent quality and it's got the display in the eye and it looks like regular glasses, I think I might get that. But
it
we'll see.
does.
We'll
it
see.
does. You know who did a recent a recent video on it was what's that guy's name? His name's what, like Marquise?
Yeah, just for anyone going through the audio of this later and you heard a horrible growl similar to what we heard
at the
Wildwood, that was my stomach for whatever reason.
You know, funny story. I got to tell this story because it's kind of funny. Nick and I are talking one night about because he's reviewing videos also, and he goes, "I think I heard a growl," and I'm like, "Oh, a growl! Like that's crazy." When we was in the basement, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What was the timestamp?" And I go and I watch the video. I'm like, "Dude, that does sound like something there."
I know. I was listening to it over and over again, but I wasn't listening to the next part.
And so I end up going to, again, I go to the body cam. Body cam's not there. I lost the body cam I'm so pissed off at myself that I kept doing that. But it's almost like every important thing. Like there's videos of me just staring at the ceiling, but I don't have it at the two most important parts of our Wildwood experience. But anyway, I got a camera called an Ordro camera. It was the one that has the, where you're looking at different things in infrared. And just so happens I had that going when we were down there and I hear it and I go, dude, that's insane. We caught that on 2 cameras. Then right after that, Nick says, "Oh, that was me. That was my stomach." I said, "Oh, thank God." Cause that sounded crazy.
I was disappointed because that was a terrifying sound.
It was
like
terrifying.
Echoing in the basement and stuff like that.
But
that's terrifying. How you got to be careful about this stuff. There's a lot of, I don't know if it's normal, but a lot of things that are normal to me are not.
Well, the nutty thing is too, I can't tell you how many things I've been able to disprove by having multiple cameras. You know, for every piece of evidence I've got, I've probably disproved 10.
Right.
So it's like, if you're again a 2-man crew with 2 cameras, 2 mics, who knows how many things you can't disprove because you don't have enough information.
Yeah. We somehow need a bigger crew, to be honest.
Oh,
we really do. But that's difficult.
Sure. It's very difficult.
And we're not a business. We can't pay these fellas and ladies to go. They got to pay their own way.
Correct. I mean, I've been fortunate enough because like on our cameras, like we still have a lot of cameras to do. But I was talking to somebody and I was kind of like, man, like I could really use some additional help. And they offered, and then I went to somebody else like, hey, can you maybe help me with this? But tell me a scary story podcast. They're watching a camera for us now.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. So, and the cool thing is like, she's an outside observer that was not there. So of course she sees some of the stuff and hears some of the stuff and she goes, wow, like this is kind of cool. So huge shout out to her for that. Like she came in clutch.
Thank you very much.
Because here's the thing, and anyone doesn't know, when you watch this video, it's October the 6th. It's October the 6th. And as of, where's my spreadsheet at? As of right now, and I don't think people necessarily want, because they think you just record this, you go home, you find all the evidence, and it's a done deal.
You
folks.
find all the evidence, but you got, like, I took a weekend from the time I woke up, sat my butt in a chair, and stared and listened. You can't do anything else. Anything else. and did it right till time to go to sleep. We woke up the next day and did the same thing. And that's only 2 cameras.
Right. Here's the crazy thing. The Hinsdale house, we've reviewed footage on camera 1, camera 2. I did both of those. Camera 3, I skipped because it's this similar information to camera 1. It's just a different angle.
Right.
Doesn't mean I won't go back and review. I am going to. Camera 4, I reviewed. So I completed 1, 2, and 4 by myself. Tell Me a Scary Story podcast is doing camera 5 right now. I'm on camera 6 right now. Camera 7 was inoperable, and my mom just finished camera 8. So the only one we have left on the Hinsdale is camera 3.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I thought you were way further behind on that one.
No. So luckily the Hinsdale house, because I've done 3 of the 7 cameras there. So she's doing one, I'm doing the other one. So technically there's only camera 3 after us. The Wildwood, we still have to do camera 1, camera 4, camera 5, camera 6. Or wait, I gave you one of those. Camera
4, I definitely
4.
had, wasn't it?
So we haven't done anything for camera 1, camera 5, or camera 6. So camera 8, camera 7, camera 3, and 2.
What's the one I'm currently on? Was that 3?
I think you finished whatever you was finishing. That was camera 7, right?
So the basement one is finished. That was 4.
I don't think that's 4 because 4 doesn't have any info in it.
Okay, no. What one was basement 2? Camera 2.
Okay, so camera 2. Yeah, camera 2 because I can see your notes.
Yeah, the stairway that we switched from the doll room to the stairs to the.
I think that's 7.
Yeah, so that one's done. And
yes,
you'd given me one more,
which I think is cam 4. I think it is camera 4. So you figure we still got camera 1, camera 5, camera 6. And I'll be honest, I'm very greedily holding camera 5 because that's the spirit room. And if I'm watching all the boring cameras, I want to watch one exciting one. That's the only one I want to watch.
You should have took the basement then, because that one, I shouldn't have watched it first because it's making everything else that I'm watching boring.
Here's
the basement
thing.
Was wild.
Jess is watching the doctor's room because I let her pick and she's like, I want to do that room. And I'm like, dang it, I want to do that room too. But okay. So I gave it to her and like she's hearing a woman scream in it multiple times.
Wow.
So like, how cool is that?
I wonder if it will line up with because after all the crazy 921 stuff, the very part of it ended in like a frantic woman's voice, like sobbing and mumbling and stuff like that.
It might.
Who knows? What time did she hear that? 921?
I think multiple times. It was different times. Okay. But what's interesting is camera 1 was the one that was downstairs that was going towards that stairway that we would go up to get to the second story.
Yeah.
Camera 5 is, I think, the upstairs room that was also shooting down. Or no, that's camera 4. That's the one I gave you. I can't remember what camera 5 is. Camera 6 was the front room. I know that much.
What camera was Tommy's room?
Camera 5. So that was camera 5. So you've got the one that I was like, dude, I heard noises just going to that camera to look for stuff for Jess. So I know that one's going to be a hotbed of audio.
Okay.
Camera 5 is Tommy's room. So we got Tommy's room, the front room, and we've got the one that's that first bedroom on the right when you go around a corner and down the hall is the bathroom and the stairway. So we've only got 3 of that one left too. So we got basically 5 cameras. And everyone goes, well, you only got 5 cameras. Here's the things, folks.
Yeah.
Nick's
a camera
done
takes a day.
At a minimum. Nick's done 2. I've done 3. I'm 1/4 the way through my 4th one. My mom's done officially two herself.
Oh, she's rolling.
And we stopped our investigation on the 7th and we started reviewing on the 8th. So today's October 6th. That means within 30 days, we've only done that many cameras. That's insane.
We got to step it up. Step it up.
The problem is, and this is what I was telling, because when I was talking to Tell Me a Scary Story podcast, and she wanted to jump in and do one to help us out, I said, it's not the length of time of the video. That's not the longest part. It's you see something, you stop and you go, did I just see what I thought I saw? And then you rewind it, and then you watch it again and you go, but was that really what I saw? And then you slow it down and you watch it again, this time in slow motion. And then you write it down. And then you go back. That was
the part that stopped me the most.
Yeah.
And that's why I made that secret thing that's going to help in the future.
That would
too late for us now.
Yeah. I mean, we're stuck with what we got right now, which is a system that works, but it's not what we're doing is not for the faint of heart. And here's the other thing that, I'm still thinking of. What I would like to do is have all cameras reviewed and done by the 14th.
I think that's doable.
And the reason for that is I still have to review all the audio for the EVP sessions. I've not even started that. I've got to review the body cam footage because who knows what we would have picked up in a body cam that maybe wasn't on a static camera.
Yeah.
And then I got to piece the video together. When I looked at EVP sessions, just what I recorded with the H4n, which is the handheld, I'm sitting on 12 hours of audio. And the reason for that was I let that recorder run the first night at the Hinsdale while we slept. So that ran from 12 o'clock until 7 o'clock the next morning. That's 7 hours of it right there.
Right.
Now, did I pick something up? I did pick up one thing that I'm not going to disclose in this podcast that nobody knows except for me.
Oh. This hype that you're doing right now, it must be good.
It's a big deal because no other researchers ever brought this up.
Pitchforks. Villagers with pitchforks, man.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to bring it. Trust and believe. Because that information, I think, will change how everybody looks at the Hinsdale haunting. 100%. And I'm shocked that I'm the first one to figure it out. First time. And I screwed up the Hinsdale house royally.
Well, all the plans were off on that one. So
that one was difficult because you weren't there. Just got a little bit apprehensive when some stuff started kind of taking off a little bit.
That's why I'm going to bring her a buddy
next time. Yes. Because when she saw something in that doorway, that changed her entire perspective, really at both locations. And I mean, rightfully so. You've not seen stuff like that. I mean, I would be too. I get it.
Well, I was a little thrown off by some of the stuff we saw. So
yeah. See, for me,
we went there to see that.
See, for me, there was never a point where I got really nervous until, as dumb as it sounds, of all the things, when we were in the basement and I saw that out the corner of my eye, but then there's still that intrepidation of, well, it's me, right? It's just my imagination. But when she came across that walkie and she was like, there's something moving back there, I'm like, oh crap, I'm right. So it changed the entire outcome of that thought process, but I don't know.
Now, so speaking of investigations, so I found out there's a place not too far from here.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun to investigate, except it's an outdoor location, and you've told me how you feel about these. Also, I don't want to put you through the passport process because it is literally the scariest part of that whole trip.
I wonder if it's easier or harder as a U.S. citizen to do it.
I don't know. Because you're dealing with the other side's border control. And I found it easy to get past those guys. But I think coming the other way, our guys are under a lot of pressure. So they might be a little more stringent with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I think getting the passport, you just got to start 6 months early.
Yeah.
I think that's the big problem.
We still need to land on a location, by the way, because it's October.
We do. I like the one you talked about.
The castle.
But, yeah. Well, we shouldn't give it away.
I just said castle.
Figure it out.
Good luck figuring out a castle.
Yeah.
There are a lot of locations with a castle. A castle in the U.S. because we talked about passport issues.
Yeah.
Good luck. Go find a castle in the U.S.
That's right. Everyone writes in the name in the thing. We're like, damn it. New location.
Dang it. How did they know?
But this one here is, I didn't know about this at all. Never heard about it in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's very famous, and my brother sent me this story today.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of a band called the Stanfields?
No.
They've been described as, and I looked this up how to best describe it. This is the Stanfields are a Canadian rock band based in Halifax. That's the city closest to here.
Yeah.
Very popular band in Canada and the US, but they're described by some sources as the bastard children of AC/DC and Stan Rogers.
That's a great
Now, I just thought you probably have heard of Stan Rogers. Have you ever heard this song? Maybe it's only popular here.
Yeah.
Oh, the year was 1778. How I wish I were in Sherbrooke now.
Don't think
Anything
so.
like that? It's Barrett's Privateers. Never heard of that? Oh, okay, maybe it's just a thing that we really like. That's like how killers draw Nova Scotians out from hiding. They start singing that song and we all join in and they find us. But yeah, they wrote a song about this and the place is called Dagger Woods. And the thing in the woods is called the Dagger Woods Howler. Now, what this is it's a section of woods near Antigonish in Nova Scotia. And people often, apparently it's very easy to go there and experience this. But the howler is said to produce a terrifying, inhuman scream that starts distant and then seems to come closer, louder, more horrifying, faster than you could imagine. So something comes howling through the woods. And this little section is home to a ton of disappearances over the years. And we're talking about many years.
You want to get me to go to this place?
Oh,
You're naming all the things that I go, no.
Well, this is scary. We got to produce scary content here. And you could be scientific about it too.
Listen, I create the videos. If I don't make it out the woods, there is no video.
Oh, you'll make it out. You'll be fine. So anyways, that people tried to explain because it was linked to a crime of passion where there was a husband who killed his wife with a pearl-handled dagger, then fled into the woods. And apparently he would get people years after, because he started living in there and they never found him. Mm-hmm. And he was called the Howler. But when the historians went through different papers and stuff, it went further back than that because people have been disappearing in these woods and being abducted and returned without memories for hundreds of years. Because there was folklore about fairy mounds. Have you ever heard of those before?
I've heard of fairies, but I don't know what a fairy mound is.
Well, in Ireland, fairy mounds were these locations where fairies would meet and people would get abducted if they went to them.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes they were marked with a fairy ring, which is a perfect circle of mushrooms, or, they'd be mounds where old kings were buried that everyone forgot their names and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And people would tell stories about these actually being in this area and people disappearing, most of the time never to be seen again. But then other times they'd come back and they just had no idea that they were gone anytime at all. But it could have been weeks, months, sometimes even years. And before that, the natives, the Mi'kmaq that lived there, they called them I'm going to say this wrong. Mikwasuk. I was saying that so wrong.
It's a great
But
name.
basically, these are little creatures that would sound like fairies to people from over the sea. would sound like fairies, but they abduct people as well. So this legend's been going back since the earliest times of the natives, and then through the settlers, and even through modern times. And basically people keep trying to explain it, but people just go into these woods and they vanish, and sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't.
Oh, wow.
Like, that sounds like something interesting to look at, but probably dangerous. It's outside.
I would put that on a scale of 1 to 10. Bert doesn't make it out alive. At least a 6.
Right. How about we put that on the list of like when we have a bigger crew and we feel more secure, we'll put that on that list.
The only thing I would ask is if there is a crew of those people, we do bring people on with disabilities of movement.
So that we can run them?
Yes. No offense.
If I hear a howler in the woods, I'm gone already.
I'm already gone. That's what I'm saying. I need someone just a little bit slower than me, Nick. Listen, I got some sciatica issues. Running is not my friend all the time.
If I hear a howler in the woods, I've been gone for weeks already. I'm not even there anymore. You'll just see like on Homer Simpson, that cloud of dust that's behind.
That's about right. You see me go tucking into the bushes like Homer Simpson. Like, I'm out. Nope.
But supposedly the Stanfields wrote a song about it. It's called Dagger Woods. I'll have to listen to it a little more to see what it sounds like. But I listened to the beginning. It sounded cool. But there's an idea for when we're a little more structured and a little more brave.
It's right around the corner, Nick. I feel that it's coming. For anyone that doesn't know, in January, I'm going to start working on a new thing that will hopefully bring some attention to everything we're doing. And we'll see. Super exciting things coming in the future for us, for sure. At least I'm excited. Those of you listening might not be, but the rest of us is. So
I'm super excited for that, for all the future stuff, and for what's going to happen in the next few minutes.
That's right, folks, because we all know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Stranger Thing boxes, baby.
I got, showing the wrong
You got
side.
the Beetlejuice now.
Beetlejuice. I don't know if I can get more of my horror ones. I'm going to have to start ordering them. I feel real disappointed to let down that business.
Did you let her know that you needed more of the horror-based ones?
Well, I asked. I forgot to ask when I was in there. By the way, she wants to see our video real bad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get her a copy of that. But yeah, I asked on Facebook, and I don't know who answered, but they were like, we got Five Nights at Freddy's, and what was the other one? Some other one I'm not super interested in. So, but I'll ask them next time I'm in, because this is my last one before I have to go back again.
Oh, man.
You want to go first?
I got one of those 3-parters, because apparently I opened one of the older boxes I knew. Yeah, it's one of the older boxes.
There's 2 things in this box.
Oh, snap. That's a good sign, Nick.
What could that be? And there's 3 things in this box.
Oh, snap.
What's going on here?
Some Beetlejuice
so much crinkling.
You have to say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice if you want Beetlejuice, Nick.
Beetlejuice. I can't figure out why there would be 3 parts. None of these show 3 parts.
Maybe it's like mine, Nick.
Maybe. Yeah.
Where you build it.
I got to be patient. I got to let you go first here.
Let's see what we got. I swear to God, if this is an airport, I'm going to lose my stuff.
It's from a different series, though. It can't be, right?
No, it is. It's from the series we had before, because I can't tell the boxes apart. They all look the same until I rip the plastic off.
Okay. Anything but airport.
So we got this little guy. I don't have water again, but
yeah,
we know what works from the last time. And it works pretty good on this. Also, we'll be giving this away later. My saliva for DNA analysis.
It's going to end up at crime scenes. You can't give that away.
Right. And we've got, I can't tell what that's supposed to be. I feel like that's not
a ghost, I think.
Please don't be an air. Oh, son of a.
Oh, it isn't. It isn't. There's no way. Oh my God. Is this the most common thing on the planet?
Dude, I'm going to be ticked off. I'm going straight to the. That's exactly what it is. I'm not opening it. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm opening another one because that one pisses me off.
Yeah. We can do.
How many wills can somebody get? It's almost like it's a curse at this point.
That's like the worst. Oh, I think this is feed on this. I'm going to let you do the other one before I open this up. I'm just feeling what it might be. I don't know what this could be. What?
It'll take me a second because I got to figure out if this is the first season or the second. This is series 2. So that's series 2. I need a series 1. I think this is a series 1. This one's a series 1, I believe. Some malarkey. Nick. Who wants Will? Sorry, Will. We don't want you here.
No one wants Will. Oh, I know exactly what's in this.
You know what's in there? What's in there?
I think it's a sandworm.
Oh, do you think it is a sandworm?
I think it's sandworm, which is the common one, but I like it. I wanted that.
All right, we got this one's got the trading. We like this one because it's got the trading cards too. We like that one the best.
Yeah, and that means it can't be the airport.
Definitely cannot be the airport. I can't believe they gave me the airport again, dude. That ticks me off so bad.
Yeah, that's a ripoff.
All right, trading cards first.
Okay,
let's see what we got. Dude, they did such a good job with this series. First thing first, card number 1. Got old Dustin there.
Dustin, yeah, Henderson.
Says just his name on the back, just gives a little bit of info about old Dustin. Card number 2. Boop.
Oh, I like the coloring of these cards.
It gives that old Tops. It says, I can't fight better than any of us. And it's 11 and season 3, episode 8. I can't remember the Hopper.
Yeah.
And then we've got 11 and our boy.
Yeah.
And then we've got the whole crew.
Yeah. Man, they were so young.
So much better. I like these so much better. And then we've got the sticker art. And it says Demogorgon Hunter.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be cool patches on a vest.
This one is interesting. So this scene is an ice cream parlor.
Ah, that must be, what's it called? Scoops Ahoy.
That's what I was just thinking. Scoops Ahoy. Which last time we got Steve. So it must be who's the girl? What was her name?
Robin? Is that right?
Might be. I can't remember.
Man, it's not like it's been 4 years since the last season or anything.
You would think that it would be. Or wait a second. That's the player card. And then we've got the saliva card, as I call this now.
That's the DNA collectors.
That's right. DNA collect. This one's so much better. I don't understand how this one can be so much better than the next one.
It is too. I can actually see things in this.
Night and day. They screwed up on the second series and all of them's will, which is why probably no one bought them.
Yeah. They're like, we accidentally printed 60 million wills.
This one. Give some ASMR for all you weirdos out there that love some ASMR.
Oh, I love it.
Here we go. And we've got.
It is.
I can't remember her name though. Dude, these are so much nicer than the other ones.
Yeah. I guess they really downgraded.
I feel like they did, and they made them all will because no one wants will. So she's holding something, and this one I got to remember on the bottom is a thing too. We'll go with the top one first, which is, I bet it's a scoop or something. It's got to be ice cream cone. I was close.
Yeah.
Little ice cream cone. So she's got an ice cream cone and ice cream cone in one hand.
Hey, definitely wouldn't want to get these for kids. There's a lot of choking hazards involved here.
That's probably why they don't make them, because all these crazy kids kept choking on them, and they're like, let's just make them. Creams. Let's make them all freaking this idiot from the series that no one likes.
This will scare the kids away.
I wonder if this one's a scoop. Doesn't feel like a scoop. This one is. The heck is that? I don't know what this sign says. My eyes aren't good enough. It's like a little sign.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna.
It's so small. Where's my phone at? Let me. I'll do what I do for old people stuff. I zoom in with my camera on my phone.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
That's the way I see it. All right, we got the camera app out here, and it says, "Oh, it's the thing that's got the." Remember how they did the "you rule, you suck," and then they put the marks.
Yeah.
It says "you rule, you suck," and "you suck" is on there 6 times. But she holds that in her other hand, I believe. Maybe not. Looks like she's supposed to, but maybe mine doesn't. It kind of does, but not good. But that's what it ends up being.
That's still cool. That's way cooler than a will.
Way cooler than Will. It's not even close.
All right.
We'll put her back there. All right. What did you get, Nick?
I'm going to start with the little packages first. Not that I think it'll matter.
It might matter.
So, package number. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's definitely a piece of a sandworm.
That does look like a piece of a sandworm.
Oh, I think I know what they're going for here. Where's the other little piece?
Oh, do you build it?
Here. I think it's like sort of like a scene. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's the little tiny tail.
Yep.
So, and then the pièce de résistance. I mean, it can't not be a sandworm now.
It's gotta be. Wouldn't it be crazy if it's just a Beetlejuice? Oh yeah, look at that.
So how it goes is you have this piece, and its next piece is a hump.
It's like the Loch Ness.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got a little tail there. That's cool. I like that.
That is cool. I do like that.
You know what? I think I will have to keep getting Beetlejuice ones. I can't just have that.
You can't. You got to have the whole thing.
Make any sense. Makes sense.
Well, what says everyone at home? What was the craziest story we told today? I'm dying to know. Because we've told some zingers today. We told some interesting things, as I like to put it.
Should we go into the Dagger Woods?
Nope. Automatically vetoed by old Bert.
Vote now in the comments.
Yeah, vote and they will be vetoed by Bert. But hopefully you enjoyed everything. Until we see you in the next podcast, goodbye.
Dagger Woods.
No way.